product as well. So we've been talking about going into the Metaverse headsets. We're going to do that very shortly as well. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Something waiting for is submersive.
Yes. Now. We're going to.
No more slides after.
No, that was great, everything. Thank you, madam.
Respect His Excellency and honorable members of the Ministry. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here and speak about my perspective and experience of the Metaverse and the ecosystem on the whole. My name is Badal. I have founded Pearl Quest. We are a technology company since last 8 years. We create interactive experiences and apps for public spaces. That's how we started, like all the touch and feel and the interactive stuff which you see in the expo. A little bit of that has been done by us, and we do it for mainly events and exhibitions. But that gave us an opportunity to get into the Metaverse technologies because those are related, those use similar platforms for development. And since last couple of years, we have been doing XR applications, augmented reality, virtual reality, until this great buzzword called the Metaverse was coined. My topic today is entrepreneurship in general, the opportunities which I see from an SME standpoint. Like we've talked, hello, yes sir. We've talked a lot about, on the whole, how the Metaverse is unfurling, but from the base level, from how we see it from a small and medium business point of view, and how these opportunities are emerging is what I'm going to quickly talk before we can show you the demo also. So I'll start with a very short story. A few years back, one of our team members, we had given him a gaming laptop to use, and he asked me, Batul, is it possible I can take this home? It's office property, but can I take it home? So I said, yeah, why not? Why do you need it? He said, I'm a gamer. I really love to play esports, and my computer doesn't support it, so I want something powerful. So I want to do this in my spare time. I said, that's good, but isn't this like addictive? I mean, this was a few years back. He said, no, you're totally wrong. Esports is the next big thing. It's an industry. There are people hooked onto it. There are people not only playing it, but there are people watching it on various platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch. So it was something new for me. I wasn't really sure if this was true, you know. I checked it out, but fast forward a year or two, what happened was DED held this event. It was called the Esports and Gaming Hack, where all the people in the industry were invited, and this whole ecosystem of esports was being explored, where how this can be actually becoming the next big thing and how it can be utilized for the economy. And I was totally blown away because we were only doing development of games, but how the ecosystem is going to take off was something very surprising. And that's where, now you see this was held like in just before COVID. And why am I telling you this story is because just post that, the lockdown happened. And I was one of the lucky ones to drive on the Sheikh Zayed Road when it was like this, because we were doing some work at the expo. And I think very few people have seen the Sheikh Zayed Road totally empty. But the good thing that happened with the pandemic is that as a small business, the expo in a way saved us because we got a few work for a few pavilions. And during the time when events and exhibitions died, expo was another economic driver which gave entrepreneurs this opportunity to sustain or to innovate in their business. And that's where the Metaverse is connected. One industry goes away and how a different new industry comes up, and how the workforce and the experts and people who are great generally at doing something turn their minds and their complete attention towards another industry. That's what the Metaverse offers, I believe. And that's what we have done. Now, events and exhibitions will never be the same again. They are coming up slowly back. Expo is over. We don't know when, after Ramadan, or will it be the same, because people are so used to virtual events. People are so used to not traveling. So we have found that sweet spot in focusing more on creating XR applications for the Metaverse, getting a bit into NFTs, getting a bit more into the other aspects. So my slides talk about how this vast and puzzling world of the metaverse, like some really great speakers have spoken for the past few hours, and you'll see that it's kind of difficult to envision how it's going to turn out. But there are definitely some great possibilities which I see from a small business point of view. Now, the growth trajectory is very clear. Facebook got rebranded. That's what has completely made that buzzword so active. Epic Games recently announced they're spending over $1 billion just on metaverse investments. And Decentraland, if any of you know Decentraland, it's this virtual land space within the metaverse. It has both a VR version as well as a desktop version, where you can go and buy land using the Ethereum blockchain. So Decentraland already has 500,000 users who are continuously trading inside that. So you see that there'll be some more metaverses like Decentraland, which people would like to go invest, buy land, resell it. It'll happen exactly like how your real world properties take place. Now, there are two levels. There are already people who have spoken about this, but the first level is the augmentation level, where your real world gets augmented. That is, good examples are retail AR, Snapchat, your face filters, and Pokemon Go was the biggest example. And there's of course immersion, which is VR, or if not VR, sorry, I just changed. If not VR, the 2D version of the metaverse, at least you still have avatars, you still need 3D scanning. You not only need to scan people, you need to scan objects. It's not always easy to create objects, and it's a long-term process. So we need things like volumetric capture, where let's say there's a machine or there's a piece of apparel that can be scanned really fast and taken into the metaverse world. Or it can be scanned and redesigned, created as an NFT. So these are new technologies which need some sort of push, and it's a great sort of prospective business opportunity. At the same time, every corner of life will get completely mapped by the metaverse. I mean, we are talking workplace. Ms. Khalifa already said that the next event is already planned. There's communications, retail, education. All these areas are currently taking over life, but those will take dominance in the metaverse. And so the other aspect is training and product demonstrations, machinery, soft skills are already very active. Like trainings are happening. We had a session with Diva last time. Diva is already thinking so forward in terms of having trainings with VR, with more immersive experiences. But at the same time, visualizing machinery. Like we had a case with our sales team where there was a huge machine to be brought for the wood show from Europe. It was just not possible to bring it. They had some customs issues. But when we proposed them this idea that you don't really need to take this big machine everywhere with that cargo, and you just have to simulate it in virtual reality, have a few headsets on your stand, and people can experience it the same way. I mean, that's the best part with simulations. Now, where are these opportunities? Like Ms. Khalifa already said, 5G, data warehousing, connectivity. This industry is going to blow up because we will need more and more businesses, more and more of the workforce to get into this side of the technology infrastructure bit. Because as you see, it's a 3D world. It does require a lot of processing. It requires a lot of storage. So data warehousing and data lakes are something big. Then we are talking about generally blockchain and game development. Game development, of course, constructs the VR worlds, but blockchain developers are very much needed. So are the designers, so are the user experience architects, because it becomes like any other application, but this is again in the 3D world. So this is a new skill set which is very much needed. Social VR is a huge opportunity. Apart from these events taking place in the metaverse, it will be just another place for people to flock. Just to have, like, we have examples like Altspace, VR chat, where people are going and spending time. So it's the next version of Facebook Horizon and other, where people would like to spend their time. So that's another huge area where the opportunity for small businesses happen. We've already talked about NFTs and virtual goods, so designers, developers, people who trade, the old trading mindset can really work well in this world, because the way you trade and the way you make decisions about trading happen the same in the metaverse world. So it's just the talent which is now taking a different transformation. Again, very important is entertainment. We've already spoken. There are concerts happening in the metaverse. Generally, if a concert can host 10,000 people, just a few days back, the Snoop Dogg, there were, I think, 150,000 who logged in the metaverse, which was designed for it. And there are companies now who are only managing metaverse concerts. So if you talk about event management in general, the same skill set applies there. So very good opportunity for businesses who are already great at event organization. They can get into this side of the business. And of course, meetings, incentives, conferences, as I think you have a case study right here, the department itself is doing this, the ministry is doing this as an event. So MICE is huge. Virtual real estate, we already spoke about, like Decentraland. This can happen. Imagine a Dubai metaverse, like the gentleman already pointed out. There are artifacts, there are buildings which hold a value and which generally become a great tourism spot at the same time. And finally, advertising. So advertising is the world which dominates the real world, but it will do the same. Like Google today is not because of Gmail, it's all because of Google Ads. And the same thing applies there. There are spaces which can be monetized within the metaverse world. So I think that's more about it. That's the metaverse from a SME standpoint. Any questions I'll be happy to answer. And after this, we will just switch. I will wear a headset. We will switch to a world similar to what you are doing. And we'll see what are the possibilities. And there are a few headsets on the side. Anyone who wants to join, we have VR masks also, so we can put the mask and then put the headset.